Next set are flies. So your two typical flies that you're going to have are going to be house flies and bottle flies. So the house fly, everybody pretty much have seen the house flies. They're about a quarter inch to a half inch in length. They're kind of like a dull gray with 4 black stripes. Now, how do you see about the infestation? Well, you'll see the flies themselves. You may see the larvae or maggots around the area. But another thing to think about is what we call spot specks. So if you look at the picture that we have here, you'll see that white corner trim. You see the fly right there at the bottom, but you'll see all those dark spots on there. Well, that's what happens when flies land on a surface for multiple times. They'll start leaving specks. So that's an indication that you could have flies around the area. They like fresh, wet manure, any kind of decaying organic material, and all your trash containers. So looking at those areas and managing those breeding sites and those attractions is what's going to help with the house flies. They can finish their life cycle from egg to adult within about a week or two. The bottle flies, they're a little bit larger than your house flies, and they're going to have that metallic blue or green shiny color on their bodies. So you can see the one on the left is blue, the one on the right is green. So again, they're about a half inch. You're going to, for infestation signs, you're going to see flies, you're going to see the larvae, you're going to see the pupa. With these type of flies, they'll breed mostly in decomposing meat. They can do manure. You can typically find them in dead rodents, birds, animals around the property. These flies can also complete their life cycle within 1 to 2 weeks. The next set I grouped together as well, and this is the horse and deer flies. So these two are pretty similar, maybe not how they look, but in their habits and their actions. So we know horse flies. If anybody's come in encounter with horsefly, you'll never forget it, especially if you got bit by one. So these are about dark brown to black in color. They usually have a very prominent green or black eyes. They're about an inch in length. The infestation signs for that is basically seeing the flies themselves flying around. So with these type of flies, the mating starts in the air. So after they mate, then the female will go and find some kind of wet ground. And they typically will lay the eggs around that area. It could be on bushes or anything like that that's overhanging. So typically the eggs will hatch and then the larvae will move down to the ground. And that's where they'll spend their life cycle. That takes them quite a few months to develop during the larva stage. So it could take anywhere from 3 to 4 months, depending on the area. So, but the one thing to remind is that horseflies can bite. If you, like I said, if you haven't had the experience, be grateful. If you have, you know what I'm talking about. It's very painful. The thing about these flies is the male and female will go after nectar until it's time for egg producing. And then the female will start to go for a blood meal. So the deer fly, it's greenish color in its thorax or its body. It's a little smaller than the horsefly. It's about a half inch. But it has the same type of habits and same type of life cycle. And they do live a little bit longer than your regular house and bottle flies.